Tony, what were your guys able to do in the second half, especially early, to separate like that?
I thought we guarded pretty well, rebounded well, and then offensively, similar to the Notre Dame game, we were getting the ball rotated. Clemson's a very physical team, good defensively, and it's hard to get a good look on them when the ball stays on one side of the floor. So we had to work at it because they were trying to keep it on one side, but we got the ball rotated and just got different kinds of looks, shots at the elbows. Obviously, guys knocked down some shots. Some defensive plays led to offense. But that was, and I just thought a real good physical second half for us because Clemson makes you play that way. You could see that in the first half. They challenge you, and they're strong guys, usually in real good position defensively, and they missed some in the second half. They got a couple early that they could have hit to keep that game tighter, but then we capitalized, and then we made it hard for them the rest of the way.
Tony, you always like to strive for perfection, and I just wondered how close you thought your team came to perfection in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played at a high level. We really did. You know, I watched the tape. A couple fouls. We grabbed some guys. I always talk about percentages. I thought we were closer to not having letdowns on both ends of the floor in that half, and I thought that was important for us. So, yeah, that's, again, when you're making the shots, it certainly looks good. Got great lifts, again, from different guys. Isaiah came in and did a nice job for us as well with his activity. We had some foul trouble early, so we were a little concerned, and their kid can score at the 4 spot. He's quick off the drive, Blossom game, and I thought Isaiah did a good job with him, and I thought Anthony started, he really got us off to a good start and was real physical, and we needed that.
How important was it to get a little breathing room at the end of the first half with those 2 threes by Justin?
Yeah, because we were laboring a little bit, and that certainly was big. Because again, it looked like it was going to be a possession by possession game, and we just tried to, they were trying to wear us down, we were trying to wear them down, and to just, to get a little separation like that was helpful. And I think we got, I don't know what we started, a quick 5-0, 6-0 run, and then it opened it up, and we didn't look back.
How nice was it to be able to get some different guys in there in a conference game and get those guys experience?
Yeah, I said that when they're in there. I said, these are valuable possessions. Don't waste them. I really just to get those guys out there, and for Devin Hall to get in there and get some good minutes. And same even with BJ and Isaiah was in there at important times. So I really look at that as significant for them. And then, at the very end to be able to reward our green machine, to get them going. Was real good because they work so hard in practice to get us ready, and they're such selfless guys, and I love it when they can get out there. So I like the fact that obviously they got minutes, and those young guys who are going to have to be in some valuable pressure-packed spots were getting good minutes.
Tony, we hadn't seen Isaiah before the Notre Dame game for a while. What's kind of got him back into the rotation? Yeah,
well, we've played some teams that have been real mobile at the 4, whether it was Connington at Notre Dame, and I thought we were struggling, and I just thought we were a little flat, and he's such an active player. You look at him in his stance. I mean, he's got a textbook stance, the way he spreads out. He's real active on the ball, and I thought let's get a lift because he plays so hard in practice. Whether he's running the scout team or not, he's just a relentless worker, and obviously he gave us a great lift early in the year against James Madison, and sometimes you feel things like we need a interjection of energy, and I thought he could do that for us. Plus, he's sound, and to see him, he's not known as a three-point shooter, but to see him do that, but just to see his activity, very important because you go against talented mismatch 4s, and it was nice to see him do that, and I hopefully he'll keep coming.
Coach, Anthony Gill had 2 or 3 games in a row where he struggled a little bit, and he started 4 or 5 tonight. Yeah. What did he do to get himself going early? Yeah,
obviously the foul trouble hurt him. Otherwise, he was really – we just talked a little bit, said do what you do. You're a terrific offensive rebounder, and, we don't want you forcing, but take the kind of shots where you're not thinking, where you're either posted up or going towards the hoop. Be aggressive and don't try to be perfect offensively. And then defensively, you gotta keep working on rebounding and being 2 places at once. And I thought he really had a nice game, and I thought he was just assertive, aggressive, besides the one play in the second half where he sort of got the one turnover. I thought everything he did was good, and we needed his physicality because when he went out, we had a little trouble when we got in our foul trouble, but he embraces that and that kind of physicalness, and he was right there with him and got us off to a good start.
I know you've always adjusted your lineup to what the opponent gives you, but does it seem like maybe this year you've got more guys who you feel comfortable starting or have the athleticism, I guess, to be in that starting five that you can cater a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I could start Mike. I mean, really, Mike, Anthony, and Darion. Sometimes I was going to base it on matchups. Again, in these last few teams have just had mobile fours. Any of those three could really start. I mean, I think our perimeter is pretty established, but yeah, I look at Mike as kind of a sixth starter, or if for a while we were bringing Darion off the bench. I don't think we brought Anthony off the bench, but you could go that way depending, I think, on matchups. And then, yeah, we're getting some nice lifts from Mariel and certainly Isaiah, all the other guys. So I think that's important, the depth that you need for energy, because this was our third game in 9 days, I think, our fourth one, and we wanted to have that. And then being at home, it certainly helped. It was a live crowd.
Tony, over here. Hi, how you doing? 16-0, 4-0, number 2 in the country. Do you have to say anything to these guys to keep them grounded? What do you say to them? Do you have any quotes you give them?
Nah, not really. I mean, we always talk about playing high-quality basketball. When you step between the lines, that's the enjoyment. That's the celebration for us, to play at a high level. And I just told them before the game, I said, you're unbeaten. Are you willing to stay unbeaten? And I just kind of focused on, are you willing? Because what it's going to take is we know what it takes. And it's just that stuff right there. I mean, you can say it the same thing you're saying in all different ways, but they just have to be ready to rise up when we step on the floor for practice, and then when we step on the floor for games. But everything else, they just need to stay level. And I think someone said I quoted a rapper, which I didn't realize. Don't believe the hype. I think that was it. So, yeah, I remember that. I mean, everybody knows that. So, yeah. So that's my wife told me. She says, "You know, you quoted a rapper," and I'm like, "Well, I remember that song." But that's our guys we talk about all the time. I don't mean to be long-winded, but I got a great text from Doug Brauman, one of our players over the years, and he said, "Coach, I've been in touch with Mustafa, Hassan, Thomas Rogers, Will Sherrill," and he said, "I just love that the guys, how they're playing, but that they're remaining humble." And that brightened my day, that those guys remember our pillars, what matters to this program of humility, and trying to, he said, keep trying to impose your will on people and keep knocking. Like he just said, he basically said the things that we talk to our guys about all the time. And as a coach, you want the young men that you coach to have those things left in them, or those things coming out of them. And I was so happy, and I shared that with the guys. So just to remain obviously very thankful and very humble for where we're at, but contend for it, for all we're worth, and that's what we're going to keep doing every practice and every game.
I don't think we've mentioned Malcolm yet. 28 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 9, 3 assists, no turnovers, and he looked active defensively from our perch.
He was
How
good.
efficient, in your mind, was he this evening?
That was good. I don't even know his stat line in the first half. I forgot, but his second half, he really got it going. I think he maybe had one bucket in the first half, but he got his shot going, and I thought offensively he got us going with his drive. He drove hard. He's such a physical driver, and I thought that loosened up their defense a little bit, because they were pretty much packed in there, hit a shot, a few drives, and then again he had the ability to stay in front, whoever he was guarding, and he was efficient with his decision making. And yeah, it was a very complete. I think our second half was real complete, but he was running the show and doing a good job that way.